Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing a horror film tier list for the best horror movie franchises of all time. Why don't you tell me your favourite in the comments, or just, tell me that mine takes a shit. So here we have the tier list. I'll go from D right back up to S. I've done it, there's still loads more here. The only problem is there's so many, and I didn't want it to be the runtime of all these franchises combined, alright? So we've done a few, maybe I'll come back later to do the rest. So in D so far, we've got The Purge. The Purge, it's a good franchise. It's in D because I just think they've jumped the shark a little bit. We're on way too many now, way too many. Then next we've got Cloverfield. I like the first one. The other ones are a bit weird. I don't know what that was actually going for. Next, we've got the Amityville Horror. I just think there's so many. There's so many of them. I don't know if this means the normal set of films or as a whole how many Amityville Horror films there are. Look up how many there are. It's fucking weird. There's way too many. There's way too many. Same with the Saw franchise. Again, love the Saw franchise. It's just they've jumped the shark now. It's ridiculous at how many Saw films there actually are. Scary movie, D. Okay, D is probably the same, right? I just think they jumped the shark. That was fun at first, and then I know they stopped. I think they've stopped now. Have they stopped now? I don't know. They might have stopped now, but yeah, scary movies are the same. They're fun at first, but yeah, I don't know. It's just they just don't do it for me towards the end. C, Resident Evil, it's probably the same. It's because there's not a lot in Resident Evil that's... we're on C tier now. This is C tier. Resident Evil, again, while I like Resident Evil films, there's some that just don't hold up to the other ones. Pet Sematary is in C as well. The reason why I've got Pet Sematary in C is because I've only seen the first one. And I've heard not so good things about the second one. So that's staying in C for now. Wrong Turn again, it's the same. I've seen a few of them, not seen them all. I saw the remake or the reboot, whatever it's meant to be. That was terrible. So yeah, I know what you did last summer. That should probably be in B because I really like the first one, but I haven't seen the second one. So that's now in B. We'll get around to that. Insidious. It's the same mold as most modern day horrors, so while some films it does it for me, some films it don't. I don't know. It is what it is. I'll put it in C. It is what it is. Come for me in the comments. The Babysitter, there's Netflix. I've seen the first one. They are very camp / films, and I do love my cheesy camp / films. Just because I haven't seen the first one, I haven't seen the second one. The first one, if it's just on the first one alone, it'll be in B probably. But because it's the second one, I haven't seen it, I really can't put it up any higher. Final Destination's in C. This is where you're going to come for me, I think. They've jumped the shark again. They're just not in D. D's all the jumping the shark ones. It's the reason why it's in C is because the good ones are fucking amazing. So they're in C. It's in C because I do think they've jumped the shark. Now in B tier, as I said, I know what you did last summer. That's in B. I've seen the first one, haven't seen the second one. I don't think there's any more. I'm not sure, but it deserves to be in B. Jaws. I haven't seen the rest. I've only seen first one, and the first one itself deserves to be again in A, but because I haven't seen the rest, I can't realistically put it in A. The Conjuring are good. I do like the Conjuring films. I do like the whole Ed and Elaine Warren stuff. Just I don't like I'm not 100% on this new modern whole mold for horror films. Next is Unfriended. Unfriended I did enjoy the first one. Second one, if I remember rightly, was not as good. Or I didn't enjoy it as much, not it's as good, because someone out there that probably loves it. That's the thing about this. It's all my opinion. You probably love it or not. Blade is in B. Probably should be higher. I'm going to be honest. Probably should be a little bit higher, but I'll put it in B. I didn't know where else to put it. Put it in B mainly because anything above B now is go tos. Like I'm going to watch. If I'm watching a film, it's going to be one of the ones in the next two tiers. Prom Night, cheesy slasher. Of course, it's going to be on here. Same with Summer Party Massacre, cheesy slasher. Whack 'em in B. I don't think they've got the full of the rest. All make sense. I don't know if Paul makes sense. Hasn't got the quality of the rest. Same with Sleepaway Camp. They're not up there as like icons of horror and genre changing. That's the one. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. While it is genre changing, I haven't seen the later ones, and I'm just going to put it in B. Psycho is because I haven't seen the remake or the second one, but I love the first one, so I'm like, let's whack it in B, let's be safe. Hostel. My Hostel was genre changing, and it started the whole torture porn thing aspect of horror. I just think it's a B film, a B franchise. You know, they're not my go-tos, so B would be the same. Hills of Eyes, pretty much the same. The Hills of Eyes are great films. They're the first horror films that owned on the remakes anyway. Was the first films that owned on DVD. But yeah, they're B. The next one, Creepshow. I love the Creepshow series. I love the films on Shudder. B because actually lower A. This lower A. We're putting it in lower A. Now we're on the A tier. Lower A because they're great. Puppet Master. Who doesn't like Puppet Master? Let's be honest. The puppets. That they're the good guys. We all love Puppet Master. Hellraiser's an A just because Hellraiser. It's an amazing franchise. It's up there with a load of people's favourite franchises. Next is Tremors. Tremors is ace. I haven't seen any of the later ones where they sort of jump the shark with it. So I'm just going on what I like, and the planning scenes amazing. Everything about it, I just love it. It's cheesy. It's ridiculous. It's awesome. Next is Candyman. First Candyman was, I haven't seen the Jordan Peele one yet. I do want to get around to it, but I love the first one so much that it's going in A. House of a Thousand Corpses. I'm guessing that means or the other Rob Zombie films. They're great. They're some of the first horror films. Well, I haven't watched them much now. They're some of the first horror films that I watched and some of the first horror films that I fell in love with. A Quiet Place. I love the first one. Haven't seen the second one yet. I've heard not great things about it, but when I get around to it, I'll definitely I might change this, but definitely change where I put this on the listing. We might have to come back and move that one. Next one, Paranormal Activity. Now, here's the thing. Paranormal Activity started the modern day horror, not, what's the wording? Not like structure, because then not everyone's found footage, but it kickstarted this horror again in the eyes of people in paranormal sense. So it's got to be up here. It was transitional for the genre. It was really good for the genre, so it's got to be there. Got to be up higher. The Descent. I love The Descent. I haven't seen 2, but 1 is perfect enough to be an A. Yeah, Alien. That should be in S. Let's be honest. Why did I put it there? The Lost Boys. Lost Boys is because I love the first one. It was probably the first horror adjacent film that I watched. But what was I saying? But the first horror adjacent film that I watched. I haven't seen the second one, so A is definitely up there. The Thing, I didn't realise The Thing was a franchise. I'm probably being stupid, but the first one is an A tier film, maybe an S tier film. It's just been so long since I watched it, I couldn't comfortably put it in S. The Evil Dead, Evil Dead's amazing. I haven't seen the series, but Evil Dead 1, 2, Army of Darkness, and the reboot are solid films. They're just not my go-tos. Not my... But they're my go-tos. I will go to watch Evil Dead film, watch Evil Dead, but the ones in S are the ones that I pick mainly when I want to go watch a film. Carrie is probably my favourite horror character. The original is probably one of my favourite horror films. The reason it's in A, I haven't seen the second one, and the reboot, while I think it's a solid film, it's not the greatest. So that's an A. Child's Play probably should be an S. Because Chucky, why did I put it there? Who knows? Next is The Shining. Right, The Shining is my favourite horror film. Like, take out the cheesiness and all that stuff. Like, it's probably my favourite horror film. But it's in A because Doctor Sleep, while it was good, and I loved some Doctor Sleep bits, I don't think it was quite as good. But then, if you're going into Doctor Sleep thinking it's going to be as good as The Shining, you're probably setting yourself up for failure. It's not going to be as good as The Shining. So I'm like, let's put it in A. S, right, S tier. These are the best. These are ones that are my favourites. I'm probably going to spend a bit more time talking about. Child's Play, Chucky, just they're amazing. The horror comedies, they're great. If you're watching this and you're not a horror fan, how did you find these? But second of all, welcome into the horror community. We're awesome. Child's Play, go and watch Child's Play. They should be top of your list if you're not a horror fan. If you're starting a horror fan. Alien's one that people tend not to think are horror films, even though they are. Same as Predator, same as Jaws as well. Many people. I had a conversation with a friend about how Jaws and Alien, Predator are horror films, because he's like, I don't like horror films. They're just a waste of time and all that shit. They're not. They're fucking awesome. And then I was like, oh no, Jaws, Predator, and Alien are they're horror franchises. And he was like confused at that. He was also confused at the Stranger Things is a horror franchise. Next is Scream. Scream should be up the top here. Let's go there. Because Scream's on par with Halloween for me. Let's talk about that. They're my favourites. They're my go-tos. If I'm introducing someone to horror, I'm like, let's whack Scream on. I'll talk about Halloween as well. Halloween's the same. Halloween's the same for me. Michael Myers, you've probably seen him there. He's my favourite. They are my favourite Halloween horror films. The Halloween franchise is the favourite to me. Next is It. It is. I love the TV series, the miniseries that got turned into that got put together as a film. Here in the UK, I'm not sure if we did it anywhere else. I have to look it up. But the remakes are awesome. They're great horror films. I can't say anything more. That they're just awesome. The Omen was like the second or third horror film I watched, and I was obsessed with the making, with the Omen and the making of it and everything. That obviously that scene where it's like, it's all for you, Damien. That was one that really made me obsessed when I was younger, getting into horror. 28 Days Later, well, the 28. What would you call this franchise? 28 Days Later franchise, because it's 28 weeks as well. But yeah, great zombie films. I think this is the only zombie film I've got in here. I think it is. When we get around to doing more, there's going to be loads of zombie films at the top here. Zombie films they're great. They're easy to whack on. Anyone can Anyone, no horror. If you're not a horror fan, that they're easy to get involved in. People like hot zombies. The Walking Dead's massive. So, but 28 is the pinnacle of that. 28 days, 28 weeks is the epitome of what a zombie franchise can be. Next is Nightmare on Elm Street. Again, same with Friday the 13th. We do these as a bundle. They are the cheesiest of cheesy. They are awesome. I love myself a really good slasher film. I love the cheesiness. I love everything about slashers. I could probably do one of these on just slash films. We'll do that in the future. If you want that in the future, comment it or like whatever, and I'll get around to doing one about slash films. The next is The Exorcist. The Exorcist has a place in my heart. It is the first horror film I watched. It was the one that got me obsessed with horror. I love the film. I would show it to as many people as I possibly can if they're up for that shit, because it still is a hard watch for some people. It really is. But I just love The Exorcist. It's the first film I watched. Little me was like, what the hell is going on? She's like flying around on the bed. She's been sick. She's crawling down the stairs. It's so cool. This is what got me obsessed. That's ranking of my favourite horror films of all time. Why don't you tell me again? Why don't you tell me yours in the comments? Roast my takes. Do all the YouTube shit. Like, subscribe. I don't whatever. Most importantly, come over to my Twitch. Stream on Twitch Monday through Thursday, 7 PM UK time. Be awesome to see you there. Bye.